shows in Idaho. She is so funny. Love working with her. Please give it up for Carrie Ross.
Hey everyone. People ask me weird questions sometimes. They're like, who's your spirit diva? And I'm like, Lady Macbeth. I look nice in the color red sometimes. And then they're like, who's your celebrity crush? And I'm like, Thomas the Tank Engine. He's such a hard worker. Come on. Anyways, yeah, I'm not heterosexual, which is the easiest way for me to put that. You know, sometimes I'll hear straight men make these jokes like, I like my women like I like Laffy Taffy, chewed up and terrified, or something, I don't know. So I always like to make this joke, I like my men like I like Michael Bolton, not really. He's a very talented singer. So I'm a type 1 diabetic, and I have an insulin pump, and a lot of times people will see it, and they'll be like, oh my God, is that an iPod? And I'm just like, yes, it's an iPod that plays Candy by Mandy Moore whenever I'm in trouble. That's what that song's about. I remember my ex-girlfriend in her sleep just said Sierra Mist. And I was like, that was an unhealthy relationship because she didn't even bother to say Diet Sierra Mist. Could have been better than that. I was in this really crowded deli when I was in New York once. And the woman in line in front of me was like really upset. She kept giving me serial killer eyes. And she eventually turned and just yelled, this is a Polish deli, right in my face. I don't know why she did it, but it was annoying. So for the rest of the day, whenever I was annoyed, I would just yell, this is a Polish deli. It was fine. I was in a session with my therapist, and I was like, this is a Polish deli. And he was like, no, it's not. And I was like, well, it might as well be, because you should have your carpets clean, dude. Man. Yeah, if you're a fan of the TV show Downton Abbey, you should talk to me after this show because I've never seen it, and that will be a fascinating conversation to have. Do you watch Downton Abbey? No. Oh my God, we are so different. We should form a band or something. I was in a session with my therapist once. And he was like, what's one thing that annoys you? And I just said, anything with Zach Braff in it that isn't a coffin. That's really mean. I remember I said that joke one time, and then I walked outside, and I wasn't wearing my glasses, and I walked past this bench, and I was like, oh shit, was that Zach Braff standing next to that bench? And then I put my glasses back on, it was just a trash can. Same exact thing, right? Yeah, I'm originally from the Midwest, and I love the East Coast, but it doesn't have the, our kids thought Slender Man was real and stabbed someone. Charm that the Midwest has. It's fine, you guys are doing great. Yeah. Back to having diabetes. So sometimes people just don't really seem to get it. Like I was in the library once and my insulin pump was beeping and the librarian was like, can you turn that off? And I was like, not really. Why don't you turn off your lungs? Can you do it? No. Yeah, I remember I had an idea for a children's book about this tiny jalapeno who was worried no one would come to her birthday party because she was too spicy. But then the little habanero boy shows up to her party and is nice to her, so it's fine. That's nice going. Yeah. Also back to Downton Abbey. My mother was drunk once and she kept calling it Downtown Abbey. And I was like, I wonder what that show would be about. It's just the guy who's too embarrassed to let his friends know that he believes in God. I don't know. It's a good night. Yeah. I recently quit drinking, and which is fine. Yeah. Some people use alcohol as a crutch, but I thought alcohol was my dad for the last 5 years. Turns out, my dad isn't as nice. I've been playing chess online with a bunch of French people who are really, really impolite. It's fine. Like, this one guy was like, you are so, how do the Americans say it? Terrible. And I was like, well, you've been talking to some polite Americans, I guess. And then this other guy, he just went, ha, 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 ha. And then he didn't say anything for a while, and then he just said, fuck, bitch. And I was like, good response. Yeah, that's as American as it gets. I was watching this documentary about Casey Anthony, and I remember her saying that the dead body smell coming from the trunk of her car was rotten pizza. And I was like, oh my God, she is such a monster. Who puts pizza in the trunk of their car? That's not where it goes. Not where you're supposed to put it? Yeah. All right. One more thing about me is, like, I have Asperger's. And, if anyone has seen the movie about Temple Grandin, who was a woman who did a bunch of great work for people who are autistic. And, like, whenever someone asks me about it, they're like, oh, you have Asperger's? Are you ever like, hello, my name is Temple Grandin? And I'm like, no, the way that I do it is, hey, I'm Temple Grandin. I'm working on it a lot. It's been as nice as it could be. I don't mean to keep this going, but you guys have been fantastic. Thanks a lot.